It looks like WWE just wasted our time. After nearly 2 years of building up Austin Theory and Grayson Waller as a tag team, two of WWE's youngest, most up-and-coming stars seem to have broken up off-screen without any fanfare whatsoever. And it is an indication of where things stand with WWE and their method of igniting a fire under their younger talent. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are two guys that had high expectations amongst the WWE universe. Both of them were pegged as future stars. Both of them were pegged as potential main eventers. Austin Theory even winning the Money in the Bank briefcase at one point. However, both of their stars have fallen drastically, and their run as a tag team is an indication of why WWE's prioritization of older, more nostalgic acts like The Rock, John Cena, and others has hurt their younger talent. Whereas TV time at one point was very high in WWE with 3 hours of SmackDown, 2.5 hours of Raw, and the 2 hours for NXT. It looks like now a lot of that time is being prioritized for talent that are either much older, in the cases of John Cena, Randy Orton, and others, or for talent on the TNA roster who now appear in WWE on the NXT brand. All that to say, not much room for making younger talent like Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and it is a damn shame. Grayson Waller especially is someone who I think captured the imagination of a lot of the WWE universe over the past couple of years as a heel. You go back and look at the work he did in NXT, being at one point the guy to take down Johnny Gargano, to write him off of WWE TV and host these really cool segments like the Grayson Waller effect on SmackDown with the likes of Edge, with the likes of John Cena, with the likes of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. There was at least a little bit of trust at one point that Grayson Waller himself was up to the task of going toe-to-toe with these high-profile acts. And it's because Grayson Waller is a hell of a promo. Regardless of whether people want to admit it or not, Waller shows a lot of potential as one of WWE's future great heels. And that is why the tag team of himself and Austin Theory was originally had a lot of optimism from the WWE universe. These were two guys that you could see potentially being the stars of the future. And despite one WWE World Tag Team title run, we haven't seen much else from these guys to prove that they were a threat. And they were really positioned as mid-carders. And that is fine to an extent, but when you combine that with the fact that they've both been on WWE TV for a number of years, Austin Theory and his character has already been basically destroyed by Triple H and that horrendous booking over the last couple of years. It really calls into question how seriously you can take these guys moving forward. You can only like a talent, you can only support a talent, you can only really buy into the idea of a talent so long as WWE or whatever company is in charge books them a certain way. And these two have been booked to be jobbers, especially over the past year. And in many ways, WWE has kind of returned to a feeling under the Vince McMahon era, where nostalgic acts take away time from younger stars, but also they bury younger talent. And this burial of younger talent is a detriment because at the end of the day, John Cena is retiring. At the end of the day, Roman Reigns is going to be gone from WWE for the vast majority of the year. The Rock is not going to be around for a long time. You know who is? The likes of Grayson Waller, the likes of Austin Theory, these younger talent who are hungry, who have the intangibles, who have sometimes the support of the WWE universe. In the case of Austin Theory, he had so much support that even when he was getting booked into the ground, there were calls for Austin Theory to cash in and win the WWE Championship against Roman Reigns. Now, that would have been a bad decision, and I think universally panned in retrospect, but it was a sentiment that was true, and it was a sentiment that was out there, and it tells you that WWE needs to make some of these new stars. And while they have done a good job of building up certain talent, like Braun Breaker and potentially Solo Sikoa, and the talent that they built up in the women's division is actually insane. On the men's side, I think there's a little bit more room to prop up younger stars. And it starts with giving them serious angles, giving them serious TV time, and making sure that they are cast in serious positions. It all comes down to this. Think to yourself, at any point while Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were a tag team, did these two ever come across as a threat? I will wait, because the fact of the matter is they did not. They were never legitimately taken as a threat. They were never legitimately taken seriously, and that is exactly why WWE felt like they could just have these two break up off screen, not really point to it, and move on as if nothing happened, and then not have anything ready for either of these two talent in the aftermath. It is WWE setting these talent up for failure and then booking that failure. That should not be allowed. That cannot be allowed. That is something that fans need to speak out against, because it's not just going to happen to the likes of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. It is going to happen to the next crop of NXT talent. Look at someone like Carmelo Hayes, who WWE at one point in NXT put a lot of stock into, and look at where he is now. Look at where the likes of Trick Williams is going to be in a couple of years. That is what we are talking about. That is why this is dangerous, because you want to make sure that the company values these young stars and invests in them. And if they don't, well, they might end up just like Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, forgotten mid-carders who seem to have very little, if no future, in WWE. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I highly doubt it. In the end, I guess we'll see.